All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, check out what we got on the screen today. I'm sure you saw it in the thumbnail. We got some Blurple Luffy action from OP11. That's right. Big shout out to Batsu and his whole little team, his whole squad there that he has working on the sim. They have it updated into OP11. That's right, guys. And we're going to be checking that out in today's video for this leader in particular. And don't worry, for those who want me to cover another, any of the other leaders out there, we will definitely be covering every one of the OP11 leaders over time. You got to give me time to get it all set up. Now, with that in mind, guys, let's go ahead and dive straight into today's video. I'm going to break it down for you so you know what you're getting into. And, yeah, we'll go from there. So first up, we are going to check out the deck list, of course, for what we're going to be playing today with this leader. After that, we've got 5 games on the sim. And the nice part about it is, guys, with everyone trying out these new leaders, I was able to get 5 games against all 5 of the other new leaders in OP11. So we got a game versus Shirahoshi, Jinbe, Koby, and let me look over here, guys. I can't remember them off the top of my head. Purple Katakuri and Blue Yellow Nami. Okay, so not in that order, by the way, but we have all 5 of those games to go over. Okay. After that, we're going to check out the deck list again, and we'll kind of break it down, and we'll talk more about it, guys. I think this leader is going to be very good. I can't wait to talk, go into more detail in this video. Okay, so with that in mind, I'll have everything time-stamped in the general description, and I'll have all relevant deck lists and links and things like that down in the comments section below. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link is in the channel description. Alright, guys, so today's video is brought to you by Nin Garden. Their latest spring collection just dropped, featuring 3 incredible new designs here. Check these out. We'll look at these in just a minute, guys. And to celebrate, they are running a spring sale where you can buy 1 playmat and get any of the classic playmats they offer for 50% off with the code Spring Sale. I'm going to put that on the screen right now so you know what that looks like. So check these out. These are the classic playmats I was just referring to, where if you use the Spring Sale promo, these are the 5 mats that you can get at 50% off. Okay, really cool stuff here, right, guys? Okay, now I'm going to, I should mention one more thing. Notice this. My promo code is up there as well, where you can get an additional 5% off at the checkout with using the VV Theory. Okay, notice that's like one word. There's no spaces. Now, let's check this out real quick. There are some absolutely incredible designs on here. This Gundam one, loving this. Absolutely loving this one. I did grow up watching Gundam, so yeah, this, of course, hits home with me. And then there are some others I want to show you as well. This might be my favorite one. Look at this, guys. So this is the color version of this Heavenly Yaksha map, playmat. And get this, there is a black and white version as well. Okay, beautiful, looks incredible, huge fan of this one. It might be my favorite one, if I'm being honest with you guys. But all of these look incredible. There are some other animes on here as well, but I'm really going to focus on the One Piece stuff. Look at this 4 Emperors playmat. Incredible. It's got this stained glass design. You guys got to check this out when you get a chance. And then one more I want to show off is this Shanks playmat. This one, that's looking pretty tough, guys. This one's looking pretty tough. Okay, so again, be sure to check this out when you get a chance, guys. Let me go back to the home page. I will have the website linked down in the comment section below, and I will have the promo code and all that information down there as well. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and check out the deck list we're going to be using in today's video. We've got a few things to talk about first, though. Okay, we got to talk about 3 things real quick. Number 1 is, at the time of me recording this video, which is March 2nd, 2025, the East just got access to these cards. Okay, they got these cards on March 1st, I believe. Now, hear me out. That's when it became legal. I think, of course, they would have had a pre-release before then, but I believe March 1st is the first day of them actually having the cards legal to play in local tournaments and stuff, right? So that's the first thing we have to talk about. The second thing is at this same time, okay, last night or early this morning, I guess, depending on where you are in the world, they updated the sim for us over here in the West to OP11, where now we have access to all the cards from the East as well. Okay, which is very exciting. We'll talk about that more shortly. But one more thing we have to talk about, the third thing we have to talk about, is I'm going to be doing a review over all the new cards coming up here soon, guys, because now we have the nice English translations on the Asia-English One Piece card game website. We will be doing that soon on the channel. But you guys have to give me some time to get caught up. The first thing we're actually going to focus on, of course, will be going over all the new leaders that are available on the sim, because that is something we really like to do on this channel, right? Checking out all the cool leaders, especially when they're new, so we can see what they do, check out their interactions and get some ideas, right? So that's the first thing we're going to do. So today's video is Blurple Luffy. You can imagine what my next 5 videos are going to be. The hard part will be trying to guess the order in which I do all the 5 other leaders from OP11. After that, it's a little bit out of order, I know, but after that, then we will be able to check out, we'll do an entire set review of OP11 here on the channel so we can see what all the new cards do, okay? So bear with me, guys, bear with me. All right, now let's go ahead and look at the deck list here. First thing we have to talk about is this leader. Okay, this is a 6,000 power, 3 life, Straw Hat Crew leader, blue-purple, Blurple, right? Monkey D. Luffy. Listen to this effect, listen very closely. You may activate this effect at the start of your turn. So what does that mean from a rules standpoint at the start of your turn? So we're talking before your refresh phase, before your draw phase, before your dawn phase, before anything, main phase, before anything like that, at the start of your turn. So in other words, it's looking for before you add dawn. Let me say that very. It's looking even before then, right? It's looking even before your refresh or your what do they call it? Yeah, I think it's the refresh phase. Before that, okay, before you stain your characters as active, before you add a dawn, before you draw a card, okay, this is what it's saying. You may activate this effect at the start of your turn, before all of that. So if you have 8 or more dawn cards on the field, you're going to be able to look at the top 5 cards of your deck and reveal up to one Straw Hat Crew type card and add it to your hand. Then place the remaining cards at the top or bottom in any order, at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. This card is absolutely incredible. It is going to allow you to draw an extra card per turn if you can hit a Straw Hat card in there, and then it's going to allow you to set the top 5 cards of your deck, you know, for other very powerful interactions like with Sanji here, or put those on the bottom if there's no good cards out of the remaining 4. But remember, guys, this is going to act as like a card draw every turn as long as you can hit a Straw Hat effect, and then you're setting the 4 cards you're going to draw after that. It's a really powerful effect. But hear me out. The reason I was focusing in so much on the start of your turn effect is if you have 6 or 7 dawn on your field, right? If you have 6 or 7 dawn on your field and then it becomes your turn, you're not going to get to use this effect, right? You have to have 8 dawn on your field at the start of your turn, not after you add dawn for the turn. Just make sure you guys really lock that idea into your mind. I don't want there to be any confusion whenever this ever does go live, or wondering what's happening there. So, okay, this leader here, incredible. Cannot wait to play this. Okay, can't wait to show you the games for today as well. Next up is Nefeltari Vivi here. This is a 3-cost character from EB02. It's a 3-cost 2K, not super relevant. It has a 1K counter, which is nice. But this is meant to help you get your cards back after you've played out a bunch of cards. So on play, if your leader's multicolored and you have 5 or less cards in hand, draw 2 cards. And yes, in this deck, guys, we can return cards back to our hand with effects from Monkey D. Luffy, which we'll look at in a second. Very, very powerful effect here, guys. But I will say this, with the leader, guys, this leader effect, it just absolutely pumps. We're drawing 2 cards a turn. This is a very, very powerful effect here, and we'll have to see. I'm wondering how necessary this card is. It is only in there as a 1 or excuse me, as a 2 of, so we'll be able to, just maybe get this later in the game and get some effect from it then. The card's very solid, though. I think there might be some better options, and we'll talk about that towards the end of the video. Okay, now next up is the absolute star of the show. We have Sanji here. This is a 9-cost, 9,000 power Straw Hat Crew card, so we can search it up and snag it with Monkey D. Luffy. But hear me out. Look at what the effect does. Reveal the top 1 card of your deck. You may put into play up to 1 revealed character with a cost of 9 or less other than Sanji. Then place the remaining cards on the bottom of your deck. So what's going to happen once you get to your 8, 9, 10 dawn turn, right? Well, when that's not after the dawn phase. I know that's technical. It's a little bit confusing. But when you start your turn with 8, 9, or 10 dawn where you can use this effect, you're going to set everything you need so that your Sanji will always hit the right target. You will never whiff if done correctly. So this card is the all-star, the MVP of the deck. Now, it does need support. It needs good cards to play off of it, but just getting that tempo of playing out a 9-cost 9K into an 8-cost 8K, an 8-cost 8K, or a 9-cost 9K is incredible, or even a good blocker. I mean, there's some really good potential here with Sanji. Next up is Nami. This is a new OP11 card. Now, this card, guys, is incredible. This is one of my favorite new cards from OP11, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. It's a 5-cost 6K, 1K counter blocker, Straw Hat Crew Nami, right? So I'm already happy with that alone. I'm already happy with what that does. But listen to this on play effect, guys. If your leader's multicolored, oh, it just so happens ours is, right? where we at? Draw 3 cards and place 2 cards from your hand at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. Guys, this new arranging thing they're doing with these blue cards is becoming very powerful in conjunction with this Sanji, because think about what that's going to allow us to do. So remember what I said, guys, if you untap, like let's say you start your turn off and you only have 7 Dawn, you're going to go to 9 Dawn for the turn. Well, you're not going to be able to use this leader's effect, right? Well, think about this then. Say you're on your 7 Dawn turn, like I was just saying, and you play out this Nami. And let's just say obviously you'll draw 3 cards, and then let's set the top 2 cards of our deck. Let's set the top card to, let's just say we have a Sanji in hand and this Luffy. Okay, well, let's just say, or actually, let's do the Lin Lin, since this card's been out longer. Some people still want to know what this character does. We'll talk about in a minute. Let's say we have a Sanji in our hand and a Lin Lin. Well, these are dead cards in our hand, right? These are actually dead cards in our hand. So what we'll do is we'll draw 3 and then put 2 cards. In this case, let's put them on the top of our deck. Let's put a Lin Lin at the top, and then a Sanji on top of that. So Sanji's the top card, and then under that is the Charlotte Lin Lin. Well, now it's our next turn, right? We were only on 7 Dawn last turn, so we don't get to set anything with our leader's effect, but we're going to go to 9 Dawn for the turn. Well, on our 9 Dawn turn, we'll draw that Sanji, and now let's just say we swing for 6 with this. Maybe we swing with the blocker, who knows? But you know what we're going to do, though? We're going to slam down the Sanji and play the top card of our deck, which has already been set with this Nami's effect. We'll slam down a Charlotte Lin Lin. We will get one of their cards out of our way. We'll gain a life. It's a very powerful card, guys. This ability to set the top 2 cards is very, very strong. Cannot wait to mess around with this more. Next up is Luffy. This card... we got to read this one, guys. We're doing a lot of homework today in today's video, right? We've got a lot of work to get caught up on here, a lot of cards to learn about. This is a new secret rare from OP11. It is an 8-cost, 8,000 power Rush Straw Hat Monkey D. Luffy. When attacking, you may trash 1 card from your hand, and then you're going to return up to 1 character with a cost of 4 or less to the owner's hand. Then give up to 1 Rested Dawn card to your leader or character. So understand what this is doing. This card is going to allow us to bounce back our own cards like Nefeltari Vivi, Usohachi, Nami. We'll talk about this in a minute. It's going to allow us to bounce our own characters back or bounce our opponent's characters out of the way that have blocker, right? But it has Rush, guys. This is a Rush card, so you get to attack right away with it, and then you're going to also be able to basically swing for 9 as long as you're willing to trash a card to bounce a card out of the way. It is a very, very powerful effect, guys. Huge fan of this card. It's going to help us close out games very consistently, I think. We'll see what happens, though. Next up, we have a 2K counter Nami here. This is a promo card. This is not from OP11. It's a 1-cost, 1,000 power 2K counter Straw Hat Nami. On play, if you have 3 or less cards in your hand, return up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less to the owner's hand. I don't think this is going to come up very often, to be honest, but I guess it is a nice utility card. Maybe there's no other better 2K counter to run in this slot. We'll have to see what happens. We'll talk more about this towards the end of the video. Next up is Mr. Tuban, Cray Bentham, and Zoro Juro. Not much to talk about here. Most people already know what these cards do. Pause and read if you don't know what it does. Zoro's perfect for this deck for ramping early. So is Bon Cray Bentham. This is fine as well, or Mr. Tuban, Bon Cray Bentham. Then we have Sanji, just a nice 2K counter, Straw Hat searchable. It's a blocker. This card's great. 9-cost Lin Lin. This has been in here for a while. Then we have 2 more cards we really have to talk about, and this is one of them. This new Katakuri. Guys, this card is very strong as well. It is an 8-cost, 8,000 power character, blocker. At the end of your turn, set up to 2 of your Big Mom Pirates type characters with a cost of 3 or more as active, and then add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. So you can ramp some Dawn back if you're a little too low to pull off something like a Gum Gum Giant, right? Say you're at like 9 Dawn, well at the end of turn you'll go back up to 10 with this effect if you need to. So very powerful in that regard. But guys, this is an 8-cost, 8,000 power blocker. That's right, guys. It's a blocker. So we got the Rush card here with Luffy, the blocker here with Katakuri. By the way, notice these 2. How do I say this? These 2 characters, the way they're done. Let's do a quick little art critique. You guys want to do an art critique? All right, hang on. Let's get all this stuff out of the way. We got to check this out. Look how cool this is that the artist did. And I do believe it is the same artist who did these. Let's put these back to 0 degrees or whatever. And look how they line up, guys. How incredible is this? Yeah, I believe it's the same artist. It looks like Otton. It's hard to say It's kind of hard to read that, guys. It's a little too pixelated, but it's the same one over here as it was over there, I believe. But look at this, guys. It's like they're fighting. How incredibly thematic is this? And, of course, like we were just looking at, how incredible is this new alt art for Luffy? Beautiful artwork, right? Absolutely beautiful. Okay, we'll put that back and get back to where we were. I absolutely love the thematics, you know, how thematic this is going on here with Luffy and Katakuri fighting. This one's rushing in. This one's blocking everything. Just so good, right? Okay, moving on. 2K counter Usohachi, just an incredible 2K counter for purple. Then we have the Gum Gum Red Rock. We got Gum Gum Jet Gatling. These are all Straw Hat searchable cards with your leader effect. Understand that, guys? You reveal up to one Straw Hat type card and add it to your hand. It can be a character, event, whatever, as long as it's Straw Hat. And then we all know what Gum Gum Giant does by now. Pause and read this if you're new to the game. Make sure you understand what this card does. And last but not least, one of my favorite new cards in the set, guys, at least from, let me say, one of my favorite new events in the set. We'll talk about a Supernova one later for green. But this card, Gear 2, how incredible is this, guys? Pause and read this. I'm going to read it now. It's a 1-cost main. You may rest 2 of your Dawn cards. So it ends up being like 3 Dawn altogether for the main. If your leader is blue, add 1. Do you guys see what they did there, by the way? If your leader is blue, and this is a purple event. So it can only be used in Blurple leaders, right? Or I guess technically at pre-release. At the pre-release, you could get away with some crazy things with this if you're doing a limited sealed format, right? But, okay, if your leader is blue, add 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. Counter, up to one of your leaders gains plus 3,000 power during this turn. Up to one of your leaders, guys. Make sure you remember that. Up to one of your leaders. This is the same thing as Divine Departure. You can only give plus 3,000 to a leader. Okay, that's the deck, guys. Let's see it in action. That's enough yapping, right? Let's see this deck in action now. First game up we have against the new green-yellow Shirahoshi. And again, guys, I do apologize that we don't have everything all, revealed on the channel yet, but we'll be working on that soon. Okay, so here we go, guys. First game up we have against green-yellow Shirahoshi. Let's go ahead and pause and read what the leader does real quick. So green-yellow Shirahoshi says this leader cannot attack. It's a 5,000 power, 5 life green and yellow leader. Activate main once per turn. You may rest 1 of your Dawn cards and flip the top of your life cards face up. And then you may play up to 1 character card with the Sea King type or up to 1 Megalo character card with a cost equal to or less than the total number of Dawn cards on your board from your hand, okay? So again, let me read that last part again. A character card with a cost equal to or less than the total number of Dawn cards on your board from your hand. Okay, so you do have to at least have the same amount of Dawn, just like with Calgara, right? Okay, so here we go. It looks like I think I go first every single game, if I'm not mistaken, guys. Or maybe it's like most of the games. Yeah, so we're going first here. We can't use Gear 2 yet. You have to have 3 Dawn to use that Gear 2. Remember, guys. Very nice. We're going to ramp right away, ramping up, and we're going to swing for 6. And it's going to be their turn. They take the first hit, go down to 4 life. I do think that's always. I think it's typically smart to take the first life. Not always. There are situations where it's not. Okay, pause. So what they did right there, they revealed the top card of their life with their leader effect to cheat out a card that costs 4 or less per the leader's effect, right? And now, so this Madara card right here has on play if your leader is Shirahoshi, it's a top 5 search, okay? And I believe this Shirahoshi is also a top 5 search, kind of like how Bonnie is, where you pay 1 and tap the card to do a top 5 search. So they're doing a lot of searching right now, guys. They're doing a lot of searching right now. Okay. So there you go. You can pause and read if you need to. It's basically the same thing, doing a top 5 search. They play out another Shirahoshi. But watch this, guys. The way that this deck functions with Luffy. So next turn, we're going to move up to 8 Dawn, which is nice and all. But it'd be better to get to 9 Dawn, I think. However, it's also good to fix my hand here. We're going to do some fixing here. So we're going to do a draw 3 and then place 2 cards on the bottom of my deck in any order. Or the bottom or top of my deck in any order. I'm only going to have 8 Dawn next turn. So I will be able to play out the Monkey D. Luffy. But other than that, we're not going to really worry about anything else. Okay, and notice I did go for their character on the board. I'm not trying to attack any of them. Not right now. I'd rather just get full board control. I'm at 3 life, guys, and their leader cannot attack me. So we are in no rush this game. Remember, Shirahoshi cannot attack. It's like some of the leaders that cannot attack in the game, like Rebecca, like Vegapunk, like Iceberg, and like Nefeltari Vivi. There are certain leaders that cannot attack in this game. They're going to swing for 7. We're going to take that pretty aggressively. We're fine with that because now we do have a character to swing into on the board. They're going to play out a Shirahoshi. That's fine, of course. Nothing wrong with that. And here we go. I'm on my 8 Dawn turn here. Let's see what we choose to do. I really do want to get that 4-cost card off the board. I don't know all their names yet, guys. Bear with me. So we play out the Luffy. We're going to attack. Now we're going to trash a card with a win attacking, pushing back a 4-cost or lower character to the owner's hand, and then attaching a Dawn to a leader or character. Rested Dawn, I believe it was, to a leader or character. So very, very powerful effect there. We just ate up the board. We're at 2 life. They can't even attack into us next turn. Next turn we'll be on 10 Dawn, and we can play out... okay, they do answer with a Katakuri. That was pretty good, guys. That was pretty good. But now that we're on 8 Dawn, we get to fix our hand however we want to. We're going to set it up like that. We drew everything... Or actually, I think I put the rest of those cards to the bottom of the deck, guys. But here we go. Let's see what we choose to do here. We're going to swing for 7. There is nothing for that card to hit. I think the trigger is to pop a 3 or less on that. That character was just in the life. We're not going to trash a card from hand. We are going to leave 1 Dawn as active for Gum Gum Giant, and then we're going to pass the turn right back. We're getting a little bit aggressive here, but at the same time, we just have to watch our board. They're going to go 8 and a 6 here. I don't think I care too much about the Nami going down. I'd rather keep the Luffy up. Right? I'd rather protect my Luffy here, and if this player that we're playing against is smart, he will definitely go for the board. There's the new Jinbe, guys. It can rush and it can tap down and rush right away. They're going to swing 9 into 8. Okay, we can easily 2K counter, but we're going to use a Gum Gum Giant here just very greedily to draw some cards. Right, we're going to fix our hand a little bit and get out of things in that way. Because we were at 10 Dawn, okay, very nice. So we knew they had that Lord of the Coast there, and Lord of the Coast on play will freeze a character till the start of the until the start of your next turn, I believe it is, of the Shirahoshi's next turn. But okay, so now it's our turn. So now notice this, guys. It's the start of our turn, so nothing has happened yet. We have not made our characters active. We have not drawn a card for the turn. We have not added Dawn or anything like that. We have not done anything. Okay, at the start of our turn, before we even untap our characters or our Dawn, we're going to look at our top 5 cards. That's how this new leader's effect works. Okay, here we go. Probably grab the Sanji here. This is a little bit of an annoying situation. You don't want all these 9-cost cards in hand, right? You don't really want that in this situation. But hey, we did set what we want to the top there for the most part. We're going to swing for 6. Let's see what they choose to do here. We can't swing with the Luffy this turn because they locked it down. We're just probably going to hard cast a Charlotte Linlin here. We're going to push. We're going to trash a card from our hand. Probably trash a 2K counter in this situation. We're going to push the Jinbe to the front of their life, to the top of their life, guys. Why did I do that? Why did I push it to the front of the life? Because that way they're going to have to do some type of effect to flip it face down if they want to ramp out any characters from their hand. Okay, so this is that Lord of the Coast card, guys. Number 1, this is just a great new card. 4 cost, 5,000 power, 1K counter. On play, up to one of your opponent's rested characters will not become active in your opponent's next refresh phase. Okay, so that's how it's worded in your opponent's next refresh phase. And then trigger KO up to one of your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 3 or less. Guys, this is actually just a great card. I'll probably be messing with this card in Arlong. I don't like when it's not a trigger body in Arlong, but at the same time, this is a very powerful effect, being able to lock down a character. You'd love to see it. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what they choose to do for their turn here. They do have a 10 Dawn turn. They're going to swing for 6. We're going to take this. We have 4 life. Guys, we had 4 life. I'm not going to use any Dawn here because I don't want them to be able to attack into my Luffy and I not have any good counter power to save it. Okay, let's see what they choose to do here. And remember, guys, be patient with me and my opponents today because we're learning brand new leaders. This is a brand new set for us over here in the West and in the East for that matter. So we're all kind of learning at the same rate. Okay, so if you see a big mistake, just say something. But let's at least try to be a little bit respectful about it, guys. Please be nice. Okay, so again, our opponent is really locked in here. They're trying to figure out what is the best course of action going forward. They're going to go 12 and 8. Okay, so unfortunately, we don't really have a great... We have to give them 3 cards. Remember, guys, Gear 2 can only protect your leader with the 3K counter. We're going to let the Luffy go. That's fine. They're going to play out this new card called Shakur. Or I think I said that right, Shakur. It's a 5-cost 7K, so it's a vanilla with no counter. And then it has activate main. If your leader is Shirahoshi, you may rest this character and turn one of the top cards of your life cards face down and then KO a 3 or less character. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less. That is a really strong effect, guys, and especially on a 5-cost 7K body, that's pretty good. Now, he did turn his card face down, but here's the thing. He will not be able to... He doesn't have any Dawn left to cheat out another character. Okay, so we're going to set our top cards here. Okay, now we're talking, guys. Now we can get these cards. So notice how I set this up. Pause. This is the first important interaction we have to look at here. Hear me out. I set these cards in the way that I want to draw. So I drew one card from the effect of the leader. It was the Gum Gum Giant. That went straight to my hand. Now the remaining 4 cards, I'm going to set on the top of my deck in this order because I still get to draw for the turn, guys. I'm going to draw a Gum Gum Giant, or excuse me, a Gum Gum Red Rock for the turn, and then I'm going to be able to play out the next card with my Sanji. You see what's going on there? All right, here we go. All right, I draw the Gum Gum Red Rock. Now it's time to go for the board a little bit. We'll go 6 into 5. He lets that go. I'll go 9 into 7. He'll probably give me a blocker here or a 2K, 1K. Let's see what he chooses. Just waiting on our opponent here. I think I would, personally, if I were playing, I would actually just give them the blocker in this situation. But okay, they gave us a 2K, 1K. That's fine. We play out the Sanji. We are going to go ahead and push back the blocker now. So now they don't get the chance to use the blocker. We're going to play out the... so when we play the Sanji, play the top card of our deck. Remember, we set it there with our leader's effect at the start of the turn, right? We played out the Luffy with what we set there. We attack into the 7,000 power character, and we got to attach a Dawn for free with the character's effect while bouncing their Shirahoshi back to hand. We're going 9 into 7. So they just gave us a 2K, 1K. Looks like they might have to give us another one if they want to save this card. So we'll see what kind of information they're going to give us, or do they want to give us the card? This is a tough spot to be in, guys. This is not pretty for our opponent. And remember, guys, we are in 2x speed. See, okay, they gave us a 0 cost 3K, and what was that? I did reveal what it was in the trash. Let's see. Okay, it was a one of those mega low cards, a 1K counter, so we know they have a Shirahoshi still in their hand, and then 4 cards we don't know. Always try to keep track of what's in your opponent's hand, guys. Always try to keep track of it mentally. Okay, they're going to go 8 into... It looks like they're thinking about going 8 into face. Okay, I'm not really upset about that. Now, I might use the Gum Gum Giant here to draw some cards and fix my hand a little bit. Let's see what we choose. We trash 2, and then we trash the Nami to draw 2. They're going to go 8 into 6. Okay, we'll take this. We're still at 2 life, guys, and they just gave us a 3rd life back. We'll take it. We're doing just fine. Very nice. That Lord of the Coast card is strong, guys. That new 4 cost 5K is powerful. So we're setting our top cards now with our leader's effect before our turn starts. We draw the card we want for the turn. We don't have any great targets, I don't think, with 9 cost Sanji this turn. I didn't see anything too good, but we do have other options, right? We can do all kinds of stuff. I think I set a blocker to the top. So we're going to go 9 into 7. This is fine. This is fine here. And it looks like we might even just play... I like this. I actually do like this a lot. Okay, no, we end up changing our mind and going back to the draw 3, trash 2 play. So we'll trash the Zoro, or not trash, put these 2 cards to the bottom, the Zoro and something else. And guys, our hand is huge. Our hand is massive right now, guys. So here we go. Our board's not small either. Our board's massive as well. We still have 3 life for a 6,000 power leader. We have a blocker. We've got plenty of counter power in hand. We're in a good spot. So they're going to swing 8 into 6 here. I think this is... I probably should have used... Okay, nice. They gave me a chance to use it here. I was going to say use gear 2 to go plus 3,000. Perfect application there. They're going to push the Nami to life. They said, okay, we need to get this blocker out of the way because we got to start trying to go for lethal or we're just going to lose. And they're probably right about that, guys. I'm going to keep drawing 2 cards every single turn, minimum, because of my leader effect. So we're going to go 9 into 8. Let's see what they want to give me. Okay, 9 more into 8. They said, hey, no, you can have that card. We're going to go 9 into 5 here. They choose not to block. We're going to go 6 into 5. We set our top card, guys. We're going to play this out, playing out the Lin Lin. We're going to trash the Katakuri because we have 3 of those in. They're just going to tap out, and I understand why, guys. At this point, I will say this. Blurple Luffy gets to a point where it feels like you just can't lose. It's like, wait a minute, man. I'm gaining life per turn. I'm having massive counter outs each time because of my leader being a 6,000 power leader. It gets to a point where it feels very, very powerful, guys. Seems really good. All right, that was the first game versus Shirahoshi. Next game, let me find it. It is going to be against Purple Katakuri. Okay, Purple Katakuri. This leader, so a lot of people have told me, at least like in the stream and on the Discord, I've seen a lot of people talking about this leader being pretty cool. I'm not really sold on the leader yet, but who knows? Maybe we don't know what the best build is yet. But I think that anything that this leader got, like anything really good that this leader got, was probably going to be as good for like pudding. And I'd probably rather go her just to ramp to 10 lane. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. So here we go. They play out the Parasparrow early on. I play out a Mr. 2 Boncray Bentham. And really cool looking art, though. I will say that. Check out the art on this leader, guys. So let's pause and talk about it. When attacking on your opponent's turn once, or excuse me, when attacking / on opponent's attack once per turn, you can Dawn -1 to look at the top card of your opponent's deck, and then this leader will gain plus 1,000 power during this battle. So, excuse me, that's offensive and defensive, and it gives them information. It's not terrible. It's not terrible at all. Okay, so they've got the Parasparrow on the board. Let's see what they choose to do here. I think they load up for 10 here, guys. Like I guess load up for 9 technically. No, okay, so it's 7, and then they load up for 7 more. Watch this. And they use the leader effect, returning one of those Dawn cards and peeking at my top card, and then they're able to go up to 8. So, guys, we just take it. Okay, never punish. We get a Gum Gum Red Rock. We'll just bottom deck one of their characters. Seems good to me. I think it bottom decks a 4 or less with the Red Rock trigger. So, right here, guys, we're on 7 Dawn. I think what we're going to do here is we're actually going to use the Nami. Okay, so hear me out. There were a few ideas we had there. Using the gear 2 probably would have been the better decision. We're trying to figure out what works the best, right? We're trying to do some limit testing and things like that. But hear me out. We're trying to see how this all works out properly. I think using the gear 2, I think that was probably a better play, what you see on the screen here, because I could have gone to 8 Dawn right now. So at the start of my turn, I will be on 8 Dawn. So there is something to be said there. That probably would have helped out quite a bit. But we're also not in any rush now, guys, because they have no attacker. So they only have their leader. So we're going to swing in for 7 here, 7 into 5, and let's see what our opponent does now. Okay. They have 6 Dawn for this turn because they went down 1 Dawn just to use their leader effect last turn. They're going to play out the 2-cost Katakuri, which means they're going to be able to cheat out the 6-cost Katakuri for free. Or however you'd say that, with the effect of the 2-cost Katakuri. That's a cool interaction, but I just don't know how, we'll have to see how they can make that work. Maybe it'll be way better with the 6-cost, or the 8-cost 8K Katakuri when they have 8 Dawn. They're going to swing in for 9 here. I might just take this. Could also just, well, I could just use the blocker. Could Gum Gum Giant Gavel, or excuse me, Gum Gum Giant. I have a lot of options here, but I think I'm actually going to take it. Yeah, we're just going to take this, guys, because I have a stable blocker on the board, and I just don't feel like they can, get to me now. I think I'm too far ahead. So I'm going to swing for 6. I'm going to swing for 7. Excuse me. Okay, I swing for 7, so there's a new card as well we have to check out later, guys. There's 2 new cards we have to check out later. We're going to play out the Katakuri here. We're going to stand. We can't stay anything as active, but we can ramp a Dawn. We're up to 10 Dawn now, so we can go Gum Gum Giant, and we can actually still use our 8 Dawn leader effect next turn. Or, you know, it's not an effect, but you guys know what I mean, where you have to have 8 Dawn or more. So here we go. Katakuri, they have 2 attacks. I have a blocker. I have so much counter power in hand, it's not funny, guys. So he's going to go Hakai Ocean Sovereignty to bottom deck that card, or KO, whatever it was, the blocker. But I have another blocker, guys, right? I have another blocker. They go and just pass the turn because they can't do anything. They don't want to swing for 5. They don't want to swing for... I can block the 7 for free. I can block, you know, I can get out of the 5 for free. Yeah, they're just stuck right there, right? So we're going to go ahead and play out a Nami here to do some fixing. So right here, let me say something real quick, guys. Let me go back. So when I play out this Nami, watch what I could have done here. Okay, boom. Okay, pause. So what I should have done in this situation, in my personal opinion, is set the first card back to the top of my deck as the Monkey D. Luffy, and then the next one as this Sanji. And then next turn, I can do whatever I need to with my leader effect and so on and so forth. But just having the Sanji, I want to have these other cards that are not Sanji in the top of my deck so I can cheat them out with the Sanji and get the full value. So I'm just saying I am still kind of learning some interactions here. This Nami is very strong, though. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and play out the Nami, like I said, and we do we set some cards, I think, to the bottom, and then we still have 5 Dawn for the turn. What are we going to do with this? I guess we'll play out a Bon Carré just to match power. We'll see what happens. Swing for 6. Swing for 8. They take that, and then we play out the Bon Carré. We can't ramp any Dawn. We can stand up our Katakuri, though. We have 2 blockers. We have a Dawn active with Gum Gum Giant. Guys, we have, let me see something, 2, 4, 6, 8, 12... 15. We have basically at least 15k counter in hand with 2 blockers. Okay, they're going to swing in for 10, so we'll just block 2k, 1k here. Yeah, or 0 cost 3k because we didn't really have a better way to do that. I probably should have 0 cost 3k with a Sanji, but whatever. I'm just trying to figure out what to do here. I'm still trying to figure out the best. I probably could have gone for lethal. In fact, if this is the game I'm thinking of, I believe my opponent was saying, hey, GG already. Like, they had already said GG before this turn started, like the game was over. It's like, dude, I'm just attacking with what I have here. Okay, it ended up being enough, but hey, and good game to my opponent, of course. They were kind of bricked up at the end here. They had a 2k and some 1ks, I think, but we weren't going for game. Like, we weren't going for lethal, guys. We were going to have 3 blockers on the board, a 6k, an 8k, and an 8k blocker. We're swinging in for 9, or was a 7 here. We're swinging in for 6 with leader. We're sitting on Gum Gum Giant. I mean, we're not in any rush to win the game. We're just going to keep beating them down on the board. Okay, next up we have game versus Blue Yellow Nami. Okay, volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. Now, Nami is another really solid leader from OP11. And I cannot wait to mess with that. So we start off with the Zoro Juro, but unfortunately I don't think he's going to get to do anything. They're going to pop him with Zeus right away. Seems good. Seems good. Seems very frustrating and annoying, I must say. They're going to swing in for 9. We'll go ahead and take this. Sure, no problem. Now, we're not going to play out another Zoro. I'm not risking losing another chance to ramp Dawn. So hear me out real quick, guys. If you're going first, you just need a single Dawn ramp to get on an even curve, and then you're pretty much good to go. If you're going second, any ramp you get is good. It's a plus, but you don't really need it, to be honest. Any ramp you can get is just a plus side, but going 2, 4, 6, 8. You just want to make sure you get to 8 Dawn on your 4 Dawn turn, whether you're going first or second. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you get to 8 Dawn. Because we have 6 8 cost characters in the deck that are really good, right? We have the 8 cost Luffy and the 8 cost Katakuri. Okay, so here we go, guys. They're on their 6 Dawn turn. Let's see what they choose to do. They're going to swing in for 7 here. Honestly, I kind of want to take it. You guys know me. I'm greedy with the life, guys. I like to take life as much as I can. I love testing the limits of the deck and what we can do with counter power. So right here, we're just going to swing in for 6 and watch this, guys. Yeah, I got an 8 cost Luffy in my hand, don't I? Slam this down, swing for 8 into 7, and we'll trash a card here. And we're not going to push any of their characters back to their hand, but we're going to put an extra Dawn on our character. So we swung for 9 into 7 instead of 8 into 7. That's harder to counter out of. Oh, they ripped my last life card away. Seems good with the Nami there. Or excuse me, with the Eustace Kid. So they're going to swing 7 into 8. We'll go ahead and 2k counter out of that. Okay, beginning of our turn. Let's go ahead and draw some cards, guys. We'll draw the Sanji for the turn. We will draw the, or excuse me, we'll draw, hang on, go back, hang on. We got to talk about that. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we drew the Sanji from the effect of the leader, okay? Then we're going to put the Gear 2 as our first card because we draw that for the turn, and then we're going to cheat out the Katakuri with our Sanji for this turn. Okay, so things are getting a little ugly here for my opponent, right? This is getting pretty ugly. All right, we're going to start off by swinging for 6. That's our smallest attack. And then I think we're going to play out the Sanji so we can get full value from our Luffy here. We're going to swing for 8. I think we are going to trash a card from hand, or maybe we don't. Maybe we just swing for 8. Like, hey, you want to give me a 2K? Sure, sounds good. All right, in a turn, we're going to stand. Okay, we had no characters to stand as active, and we already had all of our Dawn. They're going to Gum Red Rock our character out of the way, and now they're going to swing 6 into 6. We're going to 1K counter out, and now they're going to attach 3, attach 2. With the effect of Teach, they're going to swing 14 into 6. We'll go ahead and use Gear 2 here to go +3. We use a 1K, a 0 cost 3K, and a 2K to get to 15. And, yeah, seems pretty good. Looks like game's over, right? Looks like the game's over here. We have a few options that we can do, but let's just do the simple math here. So, Paul, what's the math here? Now, understand there could be a beige in their life, or you're the one who should disappear. So, going for this is actually more risky than it seems. We probably could have played this in a way more defensive way, I'm going to be honest, or we just for sure take out this the 9K character and go about things that way. So let's see what happens here. But we can actually just swing for 7 at their leader. They have 1 card in hand. This will be going through. Okay, we'll swing for 9 at their leader. And then we'll just come in for 13. It should have just been 11 because 2K, 2K, 2K gets to 11. GG to our opponent. But hear me out. If they had a... you know, if they actually had a 0 cost event or something, or a beige, we would have just lost right there, unfortunately. So that is something to take into consideration. Now, next up we have a game versus Red Black Koby. That's right, guys. This is another leader that I cannot wait to mess around with. Speed is on 2x. Volume's off. Here we go. Weird hand here. When it comes to mulligans, guys, I would just make sure you have one way to ramp Dawn in your hand. That is the #1 thing to do that I've noticed in my limited play testing already. So we're going to ramp a Dawn here with Gear 2 using the Activate Main effect, which basically costs 3, even though it only says 1. They're going to swing for 9. We're going to gladly take that. And we're up to a 6 Dawn turn. We'll play out the Nami here. Now, hear me out. We are on a 6 Dawn turn. Yeah, okay, never mind. I was going to say if we were on a 7 Dawn turn, we could do something a little differently, a little more... probably a little more powerful if we had a Sanji, which we don't have that either. So we put some cards to the bottom. We'll swing in for 7. They're going to go in 2K 1K out of that. They'll play out a Helmeppo, trashing the Koby. They're going to trash the. They're going to be able to swing with the Koby this turn into my active characters, I believe. Yep, 9 into 6 with his effect, and buffing their leader by 1,000. They're going to swing for 6. I think we're probably just going to give a 1K here. I think we also could have taken that. I think taking that probably was the right play, but that's okay. We'll swing 6 into 6 here. Get a card out of hand or get a card out of life. We'll play out this new Luffy, And we're going to just swing 8 into 6, and I don't think we're going to use the effect here. We're not actually going to use the effect. They can keep the card Peacock on the board. That's fine with me. And we can't bounce the Helmeppo. It's too big. It can only return a 4 or less. So they're going to play out Hibari. They're going to swing 7 into 6. Now, I would really like to save this character. I would like to protect this character to the best of my ability. So we do counter out that one. Okay, so now they're going to have one more attack with Helmeppo. I'm going to go ahead and give them the Nefeltari Vivi. We're not going to be able to save this card. It's gone now, but it did save us 2 attacks at face. We'll take that. Okay, here we go. Now, unfortunately, we're going to put all this to the bottom of the deck, right? Because we just want a Sanji in hand, and then we can do everything else from there. Okay, actually, it looks like we might put this on top of life. Yeah, I think we set it like that. We'll draw the Gum Gum Jet Gatling for the turn, and we'll still play out the Sanji, cheating out the Nefeltari Vivi to draw 2 cards, and we'll swing 6 into 6. We're just trying to get cards out of our opponent's hand here. We still have 2 life. We have Gum Gum Giants in hand. We're doing fine. We're just fine right now. Okay, let's see what they choose to do here. Now that Hibari card, or whatever, the card they just attacked with, that is a very strong card, right? It's going to allow their Koby to attack into active characters, I believe. Look at this, guys. That is gross. They just dropped my the power of my Sanji by 6,000 right there. They're going to swing 9 into 3. I'm very tempted to try and save the card, but I don't have any counter power in hand, and I don't want to whiff the Gum Gum Giant. We're going to Gum Gum Giant, though, to draw some cards here. We trash one of our Lin-Lins. Okay, here we go. Top 5 search. Where are all my 8 and 9 cost characters, guys? I'm trying to make this 9 cost Sanji work, but we're just not seeing what we need to right now, unfortunately. But hey, that happens. It does happen, right? Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens here. We're going to go up to 10 Dawn, of course. We'll swing 6 into 6. We're just eating every card out of their hand, guys. We're eating all their cards out of hand. We're going to go and play out the Sanji here, cheating out the Nami. Draw 3, place 2 at the top or bottom. We're probably going to put 2 cards on the bottom. Yeah, get rid of a 2K and the 1K Zoro. And here we go. We have a blocker now. We have 2 life. We have 1 Dawn up for Gum Gum Giant. We're just in an incredible position, guys. We're in a... This is a very safe position. They're going to swing for 9. Yeah, sure. That's an easy Gum Gum Giant. And, guys... You know me, I might even just take this. We'll see what happens. Now, we're going to Gum Gum Giant there. We'll trash a card from hand. I guess we'll get rid of the gear, too, because we have a Gum Gum Giant for next turn as well. Okay, and now we finally draw a card, unfortunately, into like something we would have loved to have played earlier with our Sanji, but that's okay. They get rid of our Nami. They're going to swing for 7 into 6. We're going to 2K counter out, and here we go. Start of my turn. Beautiful. We get the Sanji, but watch this, guys. We're not going to tell them we have the Sanji. I'm going to draw the 2K counter, and I'm going to draw the Sanji for the turn, and then I'm going to put the Luffy behind it so I can play that out with the effect. They're not going to know it hit them, right? They're not going to know it hit them. But hey, you can do that. They have no idea. So watch this, guys. We'll go 2 into 1. He's not going to use anything on that. We'll swing 6 into 6 here. Let's see what he wants to give us. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Right? Now it's looking really ugly. We're going to play out the Sanji now. We're going to swing 9. We'll swing for 8. Trash a card from hand. Hang, I got to return a... What am I doing here? Oh, excuse me. I tried to bounce the doll, and they used their leader effect to prevent that by putting 3 cards on the bottom of their deck in any order. So, guys, I actually went to bounce the doll back to hand, but I couldn't do that with their leader effect. Very nice, but we're still swinging 9 into 7, and remember, guys, we still have a Sanji to swing in for 9 with as well. They block? Okay. Well, let's swing 9 into it again. Let's swing 9 into 7, gets rid of it. That would have taken both cards in hand if he had a 2K and 1K or better. He's going to trash a card from hand, cheating out this Hibari. They're going to try and get rid of my Luffy, but guys, this time, I don't think it's going to go as well for him. I mean, it might. Let's see what happens. He can still swing with Helmet, but he can still swing with Koby. Okay, Gum Gum Giant, -2 there. Dawn -2. We draw 2. We got a 1K counter. Beautiful. So now we can go 2K, 1K. And now they're going to swing for 7 more into it. Or 6 into 6. Okay, 1K counter. They're obviously sitting on a Rad Beam with the 1 Dawn active, but there's 1 in their trash as well. But guys, at this point, I'm setting my top card. Yeah, they just tap out. So there's basically nothing that can be done at this point, right? We'll go 9 into the Helmeppo, 9 into Helmeppo, everything into Helmeppo until it's gone. He only has 2 cards in hand, and then everything else is at face. And then we're going to gain a life at the end of turn with the Lin-Lin, or we could have also played out a blocker. We're in a great position there. One more game, guys. We have one more game here. Okay, so here we go. We got a game versus Jinbe. That's right. This is the last leader that we had to cover from OP11. Notice what he does, guys. This leader here, end of your turn, if you have 6 or less cards in your hand, set up to 1 of your Fishmen or Merfolk type character cards and up to 1 Dawn as active. So end of your turn, you're going to be protecting your characters and standing Dawn as active. Seems good, right? Seems very good. Okay, this is another situation where we have too many 9-cost cards in hand. We'll talk about getting bricky hands with this deck after this, guys. Once we get to the final, the final thoughts, because that was one thing that we have to talk about. There were some hands that I got that were very bricky, as you could imagine, with all these top end characters in the deck. Okay, well, here they go. They played out Cammy on turn 1, so that's a new card there, guys. That hang on, Gum Elephant something or other. Let me see. Let me pause. So they're going to, for 1 Dawn, whoops, Elephant Gatling. This card, this is the green 1-cost card, just like the 1-cost event like Divine Departure, and just like the one we just saw from Purple, the Gear 2. This one's called Gum Elephant Gatling. Check this out, guys. The counter is plus 3,000 to your leader for the battle, but then the main, you may rest one of your Dawn cards, so it ends up being a 2-cost card, right? Rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. That is an incredible card. This is a Fishman Island Supernova and Straw Hat searchable card. Guys, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. So they're going to tap down my Zoro. Seems good. I thought for sure I would get access to that card this turn. We're going to swing for 6. We're going to play out the 5 cost here, set some cards up the way we need to. And here we go. Yeah, we put some cards to the bottom of the deck there, I believe. And now we're going to be on a 7 Dawn turn next turn. And we're going to talk about my an interaction that I should have done here in a minute. Now, never mind, we'll talk about it in a second. So they're going to swing 6 into 6 here. I kind of want to save this card, to be honest. I really do want to save this card. We have a few options. I'm going to give him a 2K counter here, see if he wants to swing in for 6. He does want to swing in for 6. So I think in this situation here, I'll give him the other Nami. Could also give him the Boncray Bentham, or I could just let it go. Could just let it go. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, we're going to let it go. Nice. Now this allows me to do some stuff here. Pause. Okay, so we're on a 7 Dawn turn. I want to tell you what I think would have actually been the best play here. I don't do it. I think I play out a Boncray Bentham so I can set my top cards. But hear me out. What we could have done in this situation, we're on 7 Dawn, and next turn we'll be on 9 Dawn. But we won't be on 9 Dawn at the start of our turn. We're going to be on 7 Dawn at the start of our turn, so we can't use our leader's effect, right? So hear me out. What we can do in this situation is play out a Nami, do a top 3, draw 3 cards, and then we'll put 2 cards on top of our deck. We'll put a Sanji and then a Linlin. Well, Sanji will be on top, and right under that will be a Linlin, and then the rest of our deck. And if we were to do that, we'd be able to do that entire interaction on the following turn, and not even need our leader's effect. However, watch the play that I do instead, guys. Instead, I choose to ramp a Dawn here. So now I will be on 8 Dawn at the start of my next turn, and I go 10 into 6. This will take 3 cards out of hand if he wants to save this. He lets it go. I think that was a wise decision. And then, like I said, guys, now I will get to set my top cards at the start of my turn and go about things that way. But the problem is, then I will be on 10 Dawn, excuse me, so that worked out as well. Which play would you guys have done? They're going to swing 2 into 1, sure, you can have it. They're going to swing 6 into 6 here. I'm going to 1K counter out of this, and here we go, start of my turn. Now I get to set everything the way I want. Oh gosh, guys. I'm going to get a Sanji for the turn. I'm going to set the Giant up as the card I draw for the turn, and then I'm going to cheat out the 9-cost the 8-cost Luffy. We'll go 6 into 2, guys. I just want to take out this board. I don't want my opponents to have anything left. We play out the Sanji. We'll swing in for 8. We won't use the effect. I like the cards I have in my hand. And plus, there's nothing really good to bounce out of the way. We're swinging in for 8. This gets around their 1-cost the Elephant Giant Gatling. And they're going to use that and a 1K counter to get out of that. Seems good. That card is so good, guys. I'm a big fan of that card. I'm a big fan of that new type of card that they have, the 1-cost 3K counters now that have an activate main for an additional cost. That's really good. Okay, well, here we go. They're going to go 13 into 8, guys. I can go to 12 here with, I could just let this go, but okay, I'm going to try to save it. Dawn -2, we'll trash that card, and then we're going to get out of it. In fact, I think we knew what our top card was, right, from our leader effect. I think we knew we were drawing a 2K counter, so we were fine there. Okay, start of the turn. We got another Sanji in hand. Wow. So look at that, guys. We're going to be able to draw. So we're drawing the Gum Jet Gatling to our hand from the effect of the leader. Then we're going to set our top 4 cards. Look what we can set, guys. We can set the Linlin to get some of these cards out of the way, the Luffy to get more aggressive. We have so many options. Let's see what we choose. Okay, yep, we're going to draw a 2K counter for the turn, and then we're going to just go. We cannot attack with our leader, unfortunately, because of that Arlong, but that's not a big deal, right? That's not really a big deal. We're going to play this out, use the Linlin. We're going to, okay, so let me explain how that turn was going to go, guys. It was not going to be pretty, let me tell you right now. We were going to Linlin, Dawn -1 like we did, trashing the Boncray. We were going to push the 6-cost character to the bottom of their deck. then we were going to swing, so then we were going to swing 9 with Sanji, or actually I guess we could swing 9 with the Luffy first. We could trash another card from our hand at that point if we wanted to bounce the Arlong back to their hand, and now we have 4 9Ks on the board pretty much in our leader. It's like, hey, what are you going to do at this point? What is there to do? This is a terrible position, and we're still at 3 life. All right, guys, that was it for the games. That was my first run of Blurple Luffy. And I have to say, really, really loving the way this leader plays, and the deck list here seems really good. Let's talk about that for a minute, guys, because I will say there's probably a few changes I would like to make. I don't know how necessary Nefeltari Vivi is, and I think, like, I'm starting to kind of lean more towards the idea of maybe running Onami. Let me see here. In fact, I was talking to my buddy Mike about this. He was saying the same thing. He's like, hey, maybe run Onami in the place of Nefeltari Vivi. I'm like, yeah, I think you're right. This card here is really strong. Okay, you know, how do I say this? Nefeltari Vivi is a very strong card. I'm not saying it's bad. It does have synergy where you can keep bouncing it back to your hand with your Monkey Luffy, all that good stuff, right? You have a lot of utility with the card. But I would rather just have access to more blockers, and it's searchable. It's a Straw Hat card, so I can search it with my leader's effect. I feel like it might just have a little more upside. But other than that, let's see. Other 2K counters to consider. I actually would also like to go up Sanji's. I don't think that this Nami is really all that necessary. And I know it seems bad, right? We're just like getting rid of all the blue cards. Like, oh yeah, let's just drop the 2 Namis, drop 2 Nefeltari Vivi, drop 4 of this 2K counter Onami, and just go up all purple cards. But that's how it feels right now. I'm not going to lie. That is how it feels right now. But, you know, bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Nefeltari Vivi probably should stay. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. But I just feel like the Onami ends up giving us another blocker. And hear me out. Now on a 10 Dawn turn later in the game, after we've gone through all of our Gum Gum Giants, all of our Gear 2s and all that stuff, okay, well maybe then on a 10 Dawn turn, maybe we go, okay, play out 4 Onami, or play out a 4-cost Onami, and then just bottom deck, where's Gum Gum Red Rock at? Bottom deck your best card. Just get it off the board, and we have a blocker, and the rest is history, right? We'll see if it works or not. So yeah. Now, another thing I do want to mention, we will talk a little bit more about 2K counters before we move on, is... maybe we just don't have another better option than this Nami. Maybe that's the situation, but I don't know, because I do feel like, I do feel like we could at least swap the ratios where we have 4 of this Sanji and 2 of this Nami. And again, that's just my personal preference, at least for now. We'll see what happens in the future, because there aren't really any other 2K counter. Well, actually, look at this, guys. This is a new 2K counter. It doesn't have an effect. It's a vanilla 2K. It's a 5-cost, 6,000 power 2K counter with no base effect. So maybe this would be an interesting idea here. I do have to test more stuff. Look at all these new cards, guys, we have to go over. We have to go over all these cards because some of them could be good and we don't even know it yet. But yeah, long story short, I will say this. I'm not a huge fan of this Nami other than the fact that it is a searchable 2K counter for our leader. But if that's the case, like I said, maybe we go up to 4 Sanjis and down to 2 Namis. We'll have to see. Or maybe even try this out. Like I said, maybe there's something here. That's a 5-cost 6K body that we can cheat out with this Sanji potentially. It'll be a lot bigger than this 2K counter if we need to. So yeah. Now this Nami has been absolutely incredible. This is like an MVP in the list, guys. Let me go. I'm going to make my face cam a little bit bigger. This new Nami is an MVP as well. I would say this Nami and this Sanji are probably my 2 favorite cards in the deck for what they're doing for the character slot. And then Gear 2 and Gum Gum Giant. These cards are just so... The defensive package is so powerful, and we're already a 6,000 power leader. So, like I said, I think if we were to replace these 2 Nefeltari Vivis with 2 of these Onamis, I think we'll be heading in a slightly better direction. So other than that, and one other thing too, we don't have to make it into, they don't have to be Straw Hat 2K counters, right? We can make this into 2 other two other 2K counters of our choice. And same thing with Nefeltari Vivi. This is just like a utility slot in the deck. So, you know, in this slot, we can also run something like maybe Pudding or something like that. There is always room for Pudding in any blue deck, right? There's always room for Pudding. So there's some options there. But I'm trying to see if there's any other ones here. So this is a new card from OP11 here. Activate main once per turn, Dawn -1, then rest this character. Your opponent places 2 cards from their trash to the bottom of their deck in any order. Okay, so there's some like graveyard hate against something like Nami maybe. So maybe this would be really good. This card could be very good for the Nami matchup if that becomes a thing, if the format slows down. you know, if the format slows down too much and Nami becomes really strong. And of course, another 2K counter to consider would of course be Gion. This is another great 2K counter to battle against the Nami matchup. And that's probably, I don't know, guys. We'll have to do some searching. If you guys can think of another 2K counter, by all means, please say it in the comment section below. That will help out what we're doing here. Or do you think this card's just fine? Hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it. One of those type things, right? Okay. But we always try to min-max, right? We always try to optimize our list to make it a little better and a little better and a little better. Now, let's talk about the cost in this deck, guys. 3 8-cost Luffys, 3 8-cost Katakuris, 4 9-cost Sanji, 4 9-cost Linlin. So we are looking at 10, 14. We're looking at 14 cards that cost 8 or more. I have had some hands that were absolutely bricked out of my mind where I couldn't do anything with it, where it's just like, oh no, you know, this is a little rough to get out of. Now, sometimes I think I was still able to get out of them, but I have to say, you want a mulligan for Zoro Juro, Boncray Bentham, or Gear 2. One of these 12 cards you definitely want a mulligan for so that you have access to your ramp. Because if you can ramp at least one time a game, especially when going first, I think you're actually going to be set, because then all these huge cards we were just complaining about, well, okay, well, now they're just insane every single time. So really good stuff there. So the deck is basically running off of probably 3 different packages, it looks like. You have your late game stuff in the Sanji, Luffy, Katakuri, and Linlin. You have all of your early game ramp with Boncray, Zoro, and Gear 2. And then you have your late game defensive package with all your 2K counters, your events, and all that good stuff as well. So those seem to be like the main, the 3 main packages this deck is trying to do. You know, and I guess that operates at every stage of the game for them. Or, you know, for this deck. Is early game, we want the ramp. Mid game, remember, we're ramping as fast as we can with these ramp cards. So this ends up being our mid game with 8-cost and 9-cost characters. And then our late game actually consists of like Gum Gum Giants, these events here, bottom decking stuff, 2K counters, of course, blockers, you name it. So really well made deck. Whoever designed this, like we saw over on gumgum.gg, really, really powerful deck. Yeah, I will say another thing. This deck going forward will probably be one of the best decks in the format. I'm going to make that prediction right now, and I'm not the first one to make that prediction. I think a lot of people feel the same way. I think this deck is going to be very strong going forward. All right, that's it for now, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please tell me what y'all think in the comment section below, how you guys feel about this. Guys, I cannot wait. Whenever the sim updates for me, it's like the happiest day, you know. It's the happiest day for me in 3 months, you know, until the next one comes out, because I love seeing the new cards, interacting with them, making new videos on them and all that stuff, and just having an absolute blast. Okay, hope y'all enjoyed that. Like I said, please do not forget to like and subscribe. Real quick, guys, let me go ahead and put the outro page up here. Hey, guys, if you're supporting the channel in any way, shape, or form, guys, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing my stuff, using my affiliate link on TCG Player, if you're supporting me through Patreon, PayPal, donations, playmats, buying playmats, you know, becoming a member on YouTube, hopping in on the Discord and being a part of that community. However you're helping me and the channel, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. All right, I'm done. That's enough yapping for me. Please do not forget to like and subscribe like I was saying earlier. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below. If we messed up something really bad in the play testing, please be nice. We're trying to learn these new decks together. Just say something in the comment section below. All right, hope you all enjoyed. Until next time, peace.